I think it builds upon off of where I used to get my confidence from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it used to be, to touch on it a little bit, I don't know that I ever had true confidence in myself before because I started finding confidence from the bottle so young,
Sure.
and confidence from, I didn't even really quite understand what confidence was. It was just kind of like I saw people like my older brother and his friends, and they would do these amazing things, and they just seemed like they knew how to do these things. I didn't know that it took some willingness and some practice and some failures and some belief in themselves to be able to, like my brother, for example, being able to ride a wheelie on a bicycle like 900 miles, straight.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like, but I never gained the confidence in myself to be able to do that because when I would try it, I would fall over. And so when I found drugs and alcohol, the self-esteem, the lack of confidence that I had in myself seemed to dissipate, and my willingness to try things that seemed hard while intoxicated grew.
Mm-hmm.
But it built a sense of false confidence because as soon as I wasn't intoxicated anymore,
Right.
the confidence would go out the window.
Right.
Like building upon like relationships. I fucking could not talk to people. I had such
man.
a low opinion of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of support. I think I didn't have like people just daily beating me down, but I beat myself down. And so I would get intoxicated. I would get the confidence to talk to the girl.
Mm-hmm.
The intoxication would wear off. I would feel worse than before I talked to the girl. Like then all the embarrassment would come in. I just know that I'm going to be rejected now.
Oh yeah.
And thus creating less confidence, less self-esteem, more alcoholism. Well,
Right.
let's cure it with more. I
Yep.
need more confidence, so I need more booze. And it's such a weird pattern of growth and destruction, especially in active addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to get to a point where I'm able to build real confidence in my life the way that we are today.
Yeah.
That thing that you're talking about, 90%
Mm-hmm.
confidence. So,
Yeah.
what what are some of the things that you do now that
Well, it's funny because you took like as you were talking, like I was just sort of remembering, like being back in the day where it's like I definitely was somebody that felt more confident with a drink, or a shot or two in me. But the flip side of that was like I would find myself in these situations, and it does seem like it it has to do with relationships quite a bit, right? Like because we probably hear it all the time. Like there's no other moment where you really need that confidence than when you're interacting with other individuals, whether it be like somebody that you're interested in romantically or somebody that you're interested in a friendship with, or maintaining or establishing a relationship with a business partner or whatever the case is. Like it's important to have confidence in those instances. And eventually, like what it got to be for me was that I had to be intoxicated upon entering into or introducing myself to those relationships. And there was two reasons behind it. One was that obviously, like if I'm a little bit lubricated, then I'm more apt to just be relaxed and maybe be myself, or at least this is what my thinking was, right? Mm-hmm. The second reason is that if I was rejected, which was like the concern, if I was rejected, it wouldn't hurt because I was intoxicated.
Yeah.
And well, if I get rejected, then I'll just have another drink, like, so it was the solution, and it was also the cure in the instance that, I was to exit that interaction somewhat damaged, but I mean, as far as like what I do now, like what I find to be what I find to be one of the biggest things in order to maintain confidence now is just to keep doing the things that I know to be hard, the things that get me out of my comfort zone. Like, keep doing those things even when I don't want to do them. Like, that seems to be the tricky thing, because I have moments with everything where I really am into it. I'm super motivated. Like, I love this. This is great. And then obviously I have days where that's not the case. Like, I just am not interested. Like, and it goes back to, you know, the same thing where I just have some days where I'm insecure and some days where I'm fully, you know, I just love myself. Well, it's like, I'm going to have just those days for whatever reason where I feel a different emotion towards whatever is in front of me than others. Like, that's just the way that my life is, you know? And so if I have those moments where I just really, really don't want to do something and I do it anyways, I leave that situation feeling more confident despite of what it is. Like, you know, it can be a meeting, it can be a workout, it can be a family event, it can be, you know, anything, because I'm really, really good at talking myself out of doing things that I've committed to.
Right.
And if I'm able to push through that and do it despite that, then I find that I will feel much better about myself after that. So having follow through in those commitments definitely is the cornerstone of confidence building for me.
Yeah.